Hello everyone and welcome back to DC Central, and in today's video I'm going to be breaking down and discussing DC FanDome, which is of course the big DC event that took place this weekend where we got our first look at many upcoming exciting DC projects in both film, television and comics and also video games. So I'm just going to do a big breakdown of pretty much most of the things we saw and the things that stood out to me. So with all that said and all out of the way, let's jump into it. So DC FanDome kicked off with Wonder Woman 1984, which is of course the sequel to 2017's Wonder Woman starring Gal Gadot, and this is a film that I'm very much looking forward to. I really enjoyed the first Wonder Woman. I think that's a great film, easily one of the best DC films that we have. So a sequel taking place in the 80s was something that I thought was very interesting and something that I was very excited to see. And with this we got a brand new trailer and also a really exciting panel. The panel was great, just seeing this fantastic cast. You know, you got Gal Gadot, Chris Pine, Kristen Bell, what's her name? Why is her name escaping me? I can't remember her name. That's really embarrassing. But you know who I'm talking about, the woman who plays Cheetah, and also Pedro Pascal, and also Patty Jenkins was there as well. We got a really fun panel with all these actors just, you know, having fun with each other. You can tell that they are genuinely good friends. It was a really nice panel. And then the trailer itself was badass. This was trailer 2 for Wonder Woman 1984, and we got a really great look at the movie because we got to see a bit more with Chris Pine as Steve Trevor, perhaps hinting at what could be, you know, why he's back and why he's returned and things like that. A bit more hints as to what Pedro Pascal is up to, playing Maxwell Lord, and what his role within the film is going to be. And the big thing that came out of this trailer was we got our first official look at Cheetah. And again, the name of the actress is still escaping me. It's really annoying. But the actress who plays Cheetah, we got our first look actually as Cheetah. Of course, we've seen her as Barbara Minerva. We had seen that before, but we actually got to see her as Cheetah in this, which was really, really cool. And I have to say, I think it looks great. I've seen a lot of people criticizing the CGI and sort of making fun of it. I actually think it looks pretty good. Like, I actually think as far as like a Cheetah live action interpretation goes, it's pretty damn good. Like, Cheetah's a weird character to do in live action, so I think they've pulled it off really well. So this trailer did a really good job at selling me on the movie. I was already sold, I was already excited, but this just did an even better job of securing that for me, and I'm very, very excited to check this movie out. Following that, we got the finally revealed, long-awaited reveal of Warner Bros. Montreal's new video game that they've been working on since Batman Arkham Origins, and that is Gotham Knights. Now, this looks great. It's kind of a 1 to 4 player co-op action RPG style game, and this stars 4 members of the Bat family. We have Jason Todd, aka the Red Hood. We have Robin, which is not entirely sure which version of Robin it is. It could be Tim Drake, but I also think it could be Damian, so it kind of looks like Damian, so it could be that. We also have Barbara Gordon as Batgirl, and of course Dick Grayson as Nightwing, and they are our 4 playable characters for this game. And I have to say, this isn't what I expected Warner Montreal to do. Like, following up Arkham Origins, I thought we were probably going to get a Batman game, and it was going to be a sequel to Arkham Origins, but still a prequel to Arkham Asylum. But we actually got a completely original game here. This actually seemingly takes place after the events of Arkham Knight, which I've seen conflicting reports that this game is set in the Arkham universe and other reports saying that it's not. I mean, based on the trailer, it seems like it very much follows on from the end of Arkham Knight, so I don't know what's going on with it, to be honest. Whether it's in the Arkham universe, whether it's not, but either way, it doesn't really matter. We have this brand new game, and I think it's such a cool idea, like having a game all centered around the Bat family. The villain is the Court of Owls, which is what they've been teasing for a long time, and just a 4-player kind of co-op multiplayer Bat family game I think is very unique, very interesting, and again, it looks high quality, it looks fun, and even though, as I said, this may or may not be connected to the Arkham universe, if you look at the gameplay trailer that we got at the event itself, it was actually, you can see a lot of the seeds from Arkham within it. Like, you can see the gameplay mechanics from Arkham moving over. The combat's a little bit different, it's a bit more RPG-esque, and there also seems to be levels within the characters and the enemies, which is very much an RPG thing. But mechanically and engine-wise, you can see that this is still like the Arkham template. It's just been built up around a little bit, which I think is really cool because it's allowing Warner Montreal to kind of do their own thing while still remaining in the DC universe. So for me, I thought this was a great reveal. I'm very excited to check this game out. It looks like a lot of fun, and I'm sure it's going to be a great time in co-op as well. And I also just love the 4 different characters. It looks great. I wonder if we'll get more characters as the game goes on, if it'll get expanded. But either way, really cool looking game. I'm very excited about Gotham Knights. Then after that, we got our panel for the Flash movie, which is being directed by Andy Muschietti, who of course directed It Chapter 1 and It Chapter 2, and starring Ezra Miller. And this panel was quite unique, obviously, with the Flash as a movie. It has been a long time coming. It was meant to come out back in 2018 when they originally announced it, but it's been pushed back and pushed back with so many directors coming and going. But we finally got some movement. Like, it actually seems like it's happening. The script is done, and we actually got to see some concept art for the movie, including Barry's new suit, which I have to say, this suit is epic. I love it. It looks so much better than the one we got in Justice League, which I don't even hate that suit. Like, I think that suit is actually kind of cool. I thought it was very different from what we'd seen before, but this suit is a vast improvement. It's been said that this suit has been designed and developed by Bruce Wayne as a gift. That Bruce Wayne, most likely, I'm assuming, is the Ben Affleck version of Bruce Wayne, who of course we now know is returning as Batman in this movie, which is very, very exciting. But this suit looks great. It looks so fantastic. I'm so impressed with it. I love the lighting on it. I love the color. It just looks so Flash, and I'm very, very excited about that. And we also got this photo as well, which shows Barry and also fighting alongside what appears to be the 1989 Michael Keaton Batman, who of course, there's been a lot of rumors about Michael Keaton returning as Bruce Wayne in this movie, and we get to see him here fighting alongside Barry, which is very, very cool. Apparently, Michael Keaton's character is going to have a big role in this, like a pretty big, substantial role in this film, whereas Ben Affleck's is going to be a bit smaller. But still, to see these two characters like fighting alongside each other from complete opposite ends of the multiverse is just incredibly, incredibly exciting. So for me, the Flash movie looks really cool. I'm so excited it's finally moving along. I just can't wait to finally see it. And then following that, possibly my favourite thing we got at DC FanDome was the announcement, well, not the announcement, but the reveal, like the proper reveal of the Suicide Squad. Now, the Suicide Squad has actually fully been shot, it's done, and James Gunn has actually been editing it at home, but we actually got a mini trailer for it, which debuted all of the actors and all of the characters that they're going to be playing, so we got the full roster of characters in this, which was so great. Some things we got, like obviously Margot Robbie is coming back as Harley Quinn, Peter Capaldi is going to be playing the Thinker, which is very, very cool, very exciting. Idris Elba is going to be playing Bloodsport. John Cena is playing the Peacemaker, which was rumored, and many, many others, especially Sean Gunn as Weasel, which is absolutely hysterical. This guy in the trailer just completely stole DC FanDome. Like, this guy is already my favorite character. He just looks ridiculous. He looks hilarious, and it's so Sean Gunn. You know, of course Sean Gunn was going to play a character like this, but I am so excited for the Suicide Squad. I mean, I was excited anyway, just because, honestly, I'm a big fan of the first Suicide Squad. I like that movie a lot. I know a lot of people hate it. I know a lot of people think it's terrible, and if you do, completely understandable. I completely get that. But I actually really like that movie, and going into the sequel, well, it's kind of a sequel, you know, James Gunn's directing it. He's a great director. He, of course, did Guardians 1 and Guardians 2, so, which were very much influenced, very much influenced the Suicide Squad movie originally. So to see that come over and get him to do this movie, I think is a great idea. This cast and this ensemble is even bigger and even better than the last one, and the amount of characters they've gotten in this is insane. And we also got a little behind-the-scenes teaser trailer for the film, which just displayed it as this gritty 70s war movie, and it just looked so much fun. Such a blast, and I can't wait to finally see this film, because it just looks like it's just complete balls to the wall. Like, James Gunn has just gone for it. Like, Suicide Squad is such a weird and wacky property within DC, and it feels like he's finally just had all the chains ripped off him and has just been allowed to make the weirdest possible Suicide Squad film, and I am so here for that. Then we got our long-awaited trailer for the Snyder Cut of Justice League. Now, I'm very, very excited about this. The idea that we're getting what is essentially an entirely new Justice League movie next year is so exciting to me, especially because I was so excited about Justice League, and I don't hate Justice League or anything. Like, I think it's okay, I think it's fine. You know, I think it's got its good moments and its bad moments. The idea that we're getting a whole new version of the film, you know, Zack's original vision, which I don't really know if it's going to be the best vision of Justice League in the world, because, you know, he did also make Batman v Superman and Man of Steel, which aren't exactly the most popular DC films. Like, Man of Steel, I don't particularly love, and Batman v Superman, I do quite like, but there's also elements of that movie I really don't like. So it's a bit of a mixed bag when it comes to Zack Snyder and DC, but I'm still very happy that he's finally getting to, you know, do his whole vision of the movie, and he's releasing a whole 4-hour cut of the film in 4 individual episodes, which I'm very, very excited to check out. He's also going to be releasing it as a full 4-hour cut as well, so if you want to watch it just all in one go, you can do that. And he also mentioned as well that he is working on a distribution deal for outside of the US, because obviously this movie is coming out on HBO Max in the US, which if you're in the US, that's great, you're sitting pretty. But out here, like here in the UK, I was thinking, well, how are we going to watch the Snyder Cut? Because we don't have HBO Max. But he did say that they are working on a distribution plan, so it will probably come out maybe on Amazon Prime or something like that here in the UK, which is great. But this trailer looked really good to me. I love the aspect ratio. I thought that was really interesting. The music choice, which was great, obviously kind of links back to Watchmen. I think it was just really great to really give this trailer like this impact of look how different this movie is. And I know I've seen a lot of people tweeting like, oh, it doesn't really look any different, it's the same movie. I don't really know how you can say that when you watch this trailer. Like, it's completely different tonally, and you can just tell from the color palette as well, it's just going for a completely different vibe. And we got to see so many new shots and stuff like that. We got to see like Iris in this trailer. Like, there was so much good stuff in it. There's a lot of Cyborg in this trailer. Of course, we know Cyborg is supposed to be the heart of this film. So I'm very, very excited for the Snyder Cut. I mean, we're getting 4 hours of this. That's a long time. Like, this trailer was only 2 minutes, and we're getting 4 hours of it. And, you know, it's been said as well that none of the original footage from Joss Whedon's version of Justice League, you know, the version that we got, is not going to be in this film. So this is going to be a whole 4 hours of new footage, basically, which I'm extremely excited to see. Again, I love Justice League. I can't wait to see this movie, you know, fully come into its own. Whether I actually love it or not, whether it's good or not, we'll have to wait and see, but either way, I'm so happy that Zack is finally getting to complete his vision of Justice League, you know, for better or for worse. It's so good that he's finally being allowed to actually do that, and I, for one, am very excited to check it out. We also got a panel for the Flash TV series, which of course this channel is all about DC TV, it's all about the Arrowverse. Now, I'm actually not going to talk about the Flash here, just because I am actually going to do a separate video all about the Flash Season 7 and everything that was discussed in the trailer and stuff like that. So I'm actually not going to talk about the Flash here, but I will say it was a very good panel, the trailer was great, but I don't want to say too much about it because, again, I'm going to do a separate video where I'm going to be talking about what was discussed at the panel and also what the trailer showed us. I'm going to do a trailer breakdown, so stay tuned for that, but it was a very cool panel overall, and I enjoyed it. We also got a look at Black Adam, which is of course the film starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and we got some details regarding this, and this looks really interesting to me. I mean, Black Adam is a film that I've always been very skeptical of. I always thought it was just such a weird movie to bring in, especially with The Rock playing Black Adam. I always thought that was a weird casting choice, but everyone in it seems really passionate about it, and I think it's, you know, I love that DC is just doing whatever now. Like, I love that DC aren't worried about, you know, connecting to a larger universe. I love the fact that DC aren't worried about, you know, conforming everything. They literally just, like, if they have an idea and they believe in it, they're just going to do it, and I really love that. So the fact that they're doing a Black Adam movie, I think is such a fun idea. With The Rock playing it, that's going to be a charismatic character and a half. You know, we have Noah Centineo playing Atom Smasher, which is definitely a weird casting, but I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. And we also got the idea that this movie is going to be basically Black Adam going up against the Justice Society of America, which was leaked a while ago from a very reputable source, and I'm very happy that that got validated. But I think that that's a really cool idea, having Black Adam going up against the Justice Society. Like, I'm here for that. So very, very cool. We didn't get to see anything of it, like this movie hasn't started shooting yet or anything like that, but we got some concept art, and it just, I'm very, very excited about Black Adam. Like, it's a very weird movie for DC. Like, I didn't think they were going to do it, but I mean, they're doing it, so I think it sounds really cool, so let's go with it. And there was also panels for Aquaman and Shazam, which obviously they didn't really say much in these panels because obviously both of these films and their sequels are still kind of ways off. I believe they're not coming out till 2022, or it may even be later than that due to COVID. But the news we did get is that we actually got a title for the Shazam sequel, which is called Shazam: Fury of the Gods. Not really much to say about this. Obviously, Fury of the Gods, I think it's a cool name. I like it. But there's not really much to say about it other than that. But still, very cool that we got it. And it was a nice little thing, because I didn't think we were going to get anything from the Shazam panel. So to get a little bit of something was really nice. And just before the final big announcement of the night, we got a big announcement as well of Rocksteady's new game. Of course, Rocksteady are the developers of the Batman Arkham series, and we've been wondering what they're going to do. We've kind of had hints for a long time that they're still making a game within the DC universe for a long time. People thought it was going to be a Superman game, but it turns out they've actually been working on a Suicide Squad game, which is titled Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League. Now, this game, apparently, according to reports, is set in the Arkham universe. However, it makes no sense to me that this game is set in the Arkham universe, because it's just, there's too many inconsistencies. Like, Deadshot has completely changed race in this time. Harley Quinn looks different, you know, and also if Batman is in this game as a member of the Justice League, then what does that mean about Arkham Knight, because he supposedly died, in air quotes, at the end of Arkham Knight. So I don't know. In terms of like all this continuity, I don't actually know what's true and what's not, because for me it makes way more sense for Gotham Knights to take place in the Arkham universe than this Suicide Squad game, but apparently it's the other way around. I don't know. But either way, I'm very happy to get this game finally announced. I love Rocksteady. I love the Arkham trilogy. I think it's such a fantastic trilogy of games. Arkham City is probably one of my favorite games of all time. So to see them still within the realms of DC, but doing something a bit different with the Suicide Squad game. It looks funky, it looks fun, and I love the character roster. Of course, we had Captain Boomerang, Harley Quinn, Deadshot, and King Shark. It's a really cool lineup, and again, the idea of the Suicide Squad going after and hunting down this kind of rogue version of the Justice League is an exciting plot for a video game, so I'm very excited to check this out. We didn't get much details on this, we didn't get any gameplay or anything like that, but the trailer was fun, and I'm very excited to see more of it as the years go on. Apparently it's coming out, I think, in 2022, so we've still got a couple years to wait for it, but still, very happy to have Rocksteady's new game finally announced here. And finally, the big announcement and the big headline from DC FanDome really was we got the trailer for The Batman. This is, of course, the new Batman movie directed by Matt Reeves and starring Robert Pattinson. And this film, wow. I mean, I've been super excited about this movie ever since they announced it, you know, with Robert Pattinson, who's such a phenomenal actor, playing Batman and Bruce Wayne. That's just incredibly exciting, and to see this new film come to fruition, this trailer, I haven't been able to stop watching it. Like, the vibe of it, tonally, it looks perfect to what I want for a Batman movie. It looks epic, it looks dark, it looks mysterious. The villain roster that they've assembled for this and the cast overall, like Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman, is fantastic. We have Colin Farrell playing the Penguin, who his makeup in this film and prosthetics, he doesn't even look like Colin Farrell, like it's insane. And also we have Paul Dano playing the Riddler, which I think is just incredible casting. He appears to be the main villain here. Jeffrey Wright is playing Gordon. He looked great in this trailer. Just everything about this was pitch perfect. I'm so excited about this movie, and I think, you know, for a Batman film, we've had, you know, many Batman films throughout the years, of course, but this seems to be setting itself apart in its own way. I love what Matt Reeves has done here. I think it just looks so unique. It has its own voice, it has its own identity, and I really like where this movie's set as well, because it's not an origin story, but Matt Reeves is saying that it is set in year 2. So it's not year 1, but it's year 2. So he has been Batman for a little while, and based on this trailer, the GCPD know Batman at this point. They're allowing him to be in on crime scenes, but at this point within Gotham, criminals aren't these people that we know them to be. Like, the Penguin isn't the Penguin yet. He's still just Oswald Cobblepot. He's still like this sort of crime lord, but he's not the Penguin yet. And like the Riddler is only just emerging, and like Catwoman isn't Catwoman yet. Like, we see her, she's just like a cat burglar. She has a very simple, basic outfit. Like, it's not a cat suit or anything like that. So it's very much within the genesis of Gotham and within the genesis of the Batman story. And I really am excited about that, because that's different, that's unique. We've not really seen that before. You know, we've seen the origin story many different times with Batman, and, you know, in Batman v Superman we saw like a very old and, you know, weary Batman who had been doing it for years. We've never kind of seen that in between, and that's what this is, which I'm very excited about. So this is great, and obviously we are getting that GCPD tie-in series, which is going to take place in year 1 when Batman first showed up, so that will tie in nicely. I just think this looks so good. Like, it looks brilliant. Like, again, I love the villains, I love the acting choices. Robert Pattinson looks fantastic as Bruce Wayne, as Batman. A very different looking Bruce Wayne, and a much younger Bruce Wayne than what we're used to, but I'm always down for a fresh take. And with that, we got this incredibly violent Batman as well. Like, the way he was going down on that guy, like, it was brutal. Very much reminded me of Daredevil in regards to its violence, and I'm so here for that. I really would love a dark Batman movie like that. So, I mean, the Batman, it completely stole DC FanDome for most people. Like I say, I don't know what my most anticipated DC movie is. Like, it's either the Batman or it's the Suicide Squad. I don't know. I'm kind of stuck between the two, and they're so different. Like, the Suicide Squad is so light and fun, and then the Batman is so dark and epic. So, they're very different, but I was so impressed with the Batman. Like, this trailer was brilliant, honestly. The more I hear about the film, the more excited I get, and this trailer was just the icing on the cake. Like, I was so impressed with it, and it looks so good. And I cannot wait for it. So bring on 2021, when we're finally going to get this film. I believe it's coming out in like October of 2021, so not too far away. But wow, what a first impression. Like, given the fact that they've only shot around 30% of the movie, and they were able to put together this incredibly, like, fantastic looking coherent trailer, is genuinely kind of impressive in its own right. So a fantastic trailer, I loved it, and I cannot wait to see this film. So overall, I loved DC FanDome. Like, I'm not going to lie, going into it, I was a bit nervous about it because this was obviously the first time it's ever been done, like an event like this has ever been done, and I thought, oh, this is going to be a bit rough, it could go down, like, it literally could have gone down at any moment. Like, I was very, very worried about it, but I have to say, this is one of the most fun nights I've had in a long time. Like, just being there, being at this event, you know, because this was the Comic-Con for DC this year, and we don't normally get to see all this stuff, you know, we don't get to be a part of the panels, we don't get to be a part of seeing the trailer for the first time. So for fans like me and DC fans around the world, this was just an incredible way to do it. And it felt so special, it felt so unique, it felt so fun and epic, it felt so inclusive, like everyone, all fans were around the world watching this new DC content. It was just such a way to do it, and I couldn't have been happier with the announcements, I couldn't have been happier with the reveals, the trailers we got, just everything was perfect about this. I don't have any complaints about it. Like, it was so well handled, so well run, it was so smooth, and again, so exciting for fans. So thank you, DC, for doing this. I don't know if you'll ever do something like this again. I hope you do it again, maybe in a few years when you have like a lot of stuff to show. You know, maybe don't do it every single year, but you know, if you have like a big announcement of things to do like you did this year, then sure, do another one, because I think it was so great. But overall, I loved it. But what did you guys think about DC FanDome, and what was your favourite thing about the show? Make sure you let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. What did you think of the show? Did you think it was well handled? And again, tell me your favourite thing. What stood out to you most about DC FanDome? Was it the Batman? Was it the Suicide Squad? Was it one of the video games? Whatever it was, let me know in the comments down below. Tell me what excites you most about the upcoming future of DC. And as always, guys, if you want to see more DC content like this, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any uploads from me. And I hope to see you guys again next time.